Hello everybody, this is Barry Wiles with Sequence Solutions, and in today's video we're going to show you how to take a sequence that you've downloaded from our site and prepare it so that it can be imported into your display. Now, Xlight has made a fairly significant change in the way it handles a couple of things that will impact sequence providers moving forward and people who you are using sequences moving forward. So the big red cursor here and I are going to kind of walk you through that and talk about a couple of those differences. So version 23, 2020.23, is a fairly significant version change because two things happened. One is a functional change that I think is a great change by the team. That allows this process that we're going to show you to setting up files and moving between displays very easy. And then they've also changed the naming convention that they're going to use on files, which again I think is going to be a great thing because now these files are going to be unique to Xlight. So in the past, when you save a sequence under Xlight, it saves it with a .xml extension. And it's been this way since the inception. And what the team over at Xlight has decided to do is create a XSQ extension for all the files moving forward. So when you save your sequence in version 23 and above, it's going to save the sequence as an XSQ file. And what's good about that is that the system will know that that is an Xlight's file. You can see the little Xlight's Nutcracker icon. So if you were to click on that file, it will automatically open Xlight's. Where the XML, you tend to have to tell your system what software to use on that. So moving forward, I think that's a great change. I think that it will be very positive for the community. The drawback to that is that if you are not up to the latest version of Xlight, which there are people out there who tend to get a version they're comfortable with and don't upgrade on a day-by-day basis, which is okay, then you will not be able to open those XSQ files with the old software. So for the next while, we will be providing all our sequences with both formats so that people who may not be on version 23 can follow the same processes and open and use the files and stuff. So we'll make sure that's covered for a while. The video I'm going to show today, we're going to work with the new file format. Everything, all the steps I'm going to go through are identical for the old file format, so you don't do anything different other than opening a different file extension. Now the second change or feature really added to Xlight is they have added the ability to have a temporary show folder, and this is a great feature for exactly what we're going to show you today. When you want to set up a sequence to get it ready to map, or you're trying to map a sequence and you want to see what things look like in the original display, a new button's been added that says change temporarily. And what that does is that allows you to change your show directory temporarily to another folder so that you don't have to go in and change it permanently. Now, if you don't have version 23, all you're going to have is the change show directory button over here, and it's fine. What you're going to do is when I go to change temporarily, you're going to change your show folder, the normal way that you do it. So just to show you, I'm in my own layout. This is my display layout, just so I can show you the changeover when this happens. Now, the process I'm going to show you is not unique to our sequences. This is pretty much needs to be done on everybody's sequences that you import, especially if they use images and stuff. So we try to make our sequences rich in colors and rich in movement. And so we'll add things like pixel images and movies and shader effects to really give the sequence some pop and to make the show experience even more rich for your people that are watching the show. So, in order to bring those images and things into the sequence, Xlights keeps track of where all that media and media files are located. And that will become more apparent in a minute when we walk through the process of where these images are stored. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the home directory of Xlights. Now I've created an instance on my computer that's unique, that isn't tied to my show folder for the purposes of this video to demonstrate how to do this import process. So what you want to do is go into your own home directory, and this is the directory where you keep your RGB effects file, your network files, and everything for Xlights, as we call it, the Xlights home directory. I call all my home directories home under Xlights. It's just kind of common practice that I use. You don't necessarily have to do that. It's just how I set up my sequencing or my Xlights folders. Now, the first thing you're going to do when you get into your home folder is you're going to create a new folder and call it imports. Now, this procedure is followed by a couple of the other sequence providers out there, and I wanted to stay with the same format so that the process is the same no matter whose sequences you buy. I think having some consistency makes life a lot easier, and then the users don't have to try to be doing multiple things. So, and why you're creating this imports directory is it gives you a location to save all your download files, so that you have them in a logical place, so that you can go through the processes of mapping and all the things that you do. So once I've created that import file, I'm going to open that file up, and I'm going to go to where I downloaded my sequence file. So you're going to get a zip file. In this case, I downloaded the You've Got a Friend in Me sequence from the website, and I'm going to move that into my imports directory. Go ahead and move that out of the way. So now I've got this zip file. Now this video is being done on a Windows 10 machine, so you may have a little bit different process of how to unzip or zip, depending on your operating system. So ultimately you will have to find out what the best procedure for you is. The thing I like about Windows 10 is this is all built in and it's really easy. So now that I've got the zip file, I'm going to click on the zip file, and what it does is it gives me an icon at the top that says Extract All. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that button. It's going to come up and ask me where I want to extract those files. I want to browse, and I want to make sure that I am extracting those into that import directory that I just created. Okay, and then I'm going to hit Extract. Now, what should happen is under the imports directory, I should have now the zip file and the actual folders that were unzipped from there. At this point, you don't need the zip file anymore. You can store that somewhere else. You can move it up underneath the directory here if you want to keep it. I usually have a separate folder that I just keep download zips in, just to keep them archived, and then if I need to get back to them in the future. Now, what happens when you unpack Sequence Solutions sequences? It's going to come up with an SSL extension that's going to tell you Sequence Solutions. So, like in this import directory, if you have other vendors of displays or sequences that you purchase, it's important to keep those archived if you want. Now, I've seen people under imports create a new directory. They may say, okay, I'm going to have a Sequence Solution directory. I might have a vendor A, vendor B, and so on and so forth, okay? That's preference. It just creates another level of directories on the computer. So if however you want to organize your files, it's up to you. But we tried to create a format so that if you have multiple sequences from us, that they will all show up with this SSL, all be grouped together, but then be unique, named, going down. Now, when you go down in the folder, there's going to be two subfolders. There's going to be our diamond layout. Now, this process will work for both our platinum and our diamond displays. So you follow the exact same processes that I'm showing you. Instead of being diamond layout, your folder will say platinum layout if you're using the platinum layout sequences, okay? And there'll also be a diamond or platinum series paperwork file. And this is going to have all the sequence instructions, and there's an Excel file in there to help you map, and some other instructions. There are actually written instructions on this procedure that will walk you through this process if you don't want to come back and watch the video again. And then you're going to see this diamond layout tab. And the diamond layout tab is important because underneath this it has the RGB effects file that was used to create this sequence, which is the diamond layout folder or group of models. And I'll show you why that's important in a minute. And then you've got a folder that says you've got a friend of me, and then under that are the two sequence folders. And then under that is a group of images. Now these are all of the images that were used in this particular sequence. Now, just a little bit of explanation of how Xlights handles media like this. When you create a sequence and you tag this media into your sequence, Xlights keeps track of where that media is stored on your computer. When I package this sequence up and I put it on the site and you download it, Xlights needs to understand where those pictures are going to be. Now, if you just open the sequence and just try to throw these pictures in somewhere, odds are Xlights isn't going to find it, and you're going to have problems. So that's why it's important to do this process I'm going to show you, because Xlights will automatically link all of this stuff together for you so that you can have a positive experience importing your sequence into your display. Okay, so with that said, let's show you how that works. So as I said before, right now I am in my show directory, and what I want to do is I want to change the directory to the diamond layout that's in the sequence that I imported. Now with this new feature, what's great is I can sit and hit the change temporarily. I'm going to go down to my location where the imports that I had that file. I'm going to go into the Sequence Solutions Diamond Layout folder. I'm going to hit Select Folder. Now what you'll notice is now this has turned yellow and it has the directory of where I just pointed to. What that's telling me is that I'm temporarily pointing to a directory because it's in yellow, and this button's also changed. Now it says Restore to Permanent. So if I want to go back to my original folder, I can hit Restore to Permanent, and it puts me back into my original show folder. It's as simple as that. Okay? So let's go back to where we were and go into the diamond display. And as I said, if you're doing the platinum, this would be platinum display. So as you can see now, you show the layout that this sequence was originally developed on, which is our diamond layout. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go to Sequence, File, and we want to open that sequence. So again, we're going to go to the folder, Import, Sequence Solution, Diamond Layout. You've got a friend. And we're going to open up a sequence. Now, I can pick the XML, or I can pick the XSQ file. It doesn't matter which one. Now, in the older versions, you're only going to have the ability to do XML. In the new versions, you can do XSQ. I'm going to go ahead and do XSQ because it's new, and eventually this is where everyone's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. Now, it's going to come up and say, where's your media? Now, obviously, I can't supply the media because I don't own the music and I don't own the song. So you're going to need to go out into your favorite music site and download the music and store it on your computer. There is a link in all of the sequences under metadata where you can download it. I always use Amazon because it seems like they have all the music. You can get it from iTunes, wherever you feel or would like to get your music. And what you're going to do is you're going to need to attach that media to your file. So I know that my media is on my computer here. And whoops, sorry, wrong directory. I've got several directories on my computer from various things that I've done. I'm going to pick that. I'm going to hit done. And it's going to open the sequence. Now, more importantly, what Xlights has done is when it opened the sequence, because it knows the file structure under my diamond layout, it was able to create the links in these media files to the links on my computer, to the directory that we have this file currently running on. If for some reason you were to open this file without doing this, let's say you just open the file on your display or try to import it, what's going to happen is wherever a media image would pop up, this whole thing, like in this case this is the megatree, the whole megatree would be red, signaling that, hey, there's supposed to be some media there, but I can't find it. And so if you're seeing that, then that means that you do not have the media links set up and in the right place. So once you do that, what you're going to do next is you're going to come up here and hit the little color palette, that's the render button, and you are going to go ahead and render. All right. Now that the sequence has been rendered, all the links are connected. You're going to want to go up here and hit either the save icon or go up here and hit save sequence. You're going to save that sequence back in the same location where it is now. Then you're going to come on back to this screen where your controllers are. And you're going to want to change the show directory back to your show directory. Now, if you are before 2020.23, you're going to have to go and do the manual change like we always have, where you change your directory back. But in this new feature, now that we're done, we're going to hit this restore to permanent. And lo and behold, what it does is it moves it back to our original layout, which you can see here. So great feature that Xlights has added, made this portion of the process just a little bit easier, and that way you don't have to go in and permanently keep changing things around in your Xlights. So I hope this video was helpful in getting you to where you need to be to get your sequence ready to import. The next video will show how to import the sequence into your display, and we'll build off of the modeling and grouping video that we did prior to this one. And as always, if you ever have any questions, comments, or problems, please reach out to us at sequencesol@yahoo.com or visit our Facebook page at Sequence Solutions on Facebook and go ahead and hit Messenger and message us, and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. So I hope everyone has a great show season and this video was helpful, and have a great day.